Hi everybody, my name's Craig Clements. I'm a 42-year-old male who lives in Derby. I'm actually setting up for the first time a YouTube channel with the help of my son. My son is Luke Clements. He has his own YouTube channel which deals with ASMR, if anybody is aware of that out there. His YouTube channel is AS Clemar, and that's capitals AS and MR. Obviously my channel is My Name Rhymes. The reason I picked that is because I believe that my name rhymes, unfortunately. Craig Terence Mark Clements. I just thought it had a bit of ring to it. I'm going to be talking today about coping with a disability, or as I like to call it, well, people state that I'm now disabled due to my condition. I like to state that I'm differently abled. Disabled is like nothing works. Obviously society states that, you know, you're disabled, you have a disability blue badge and that kind of thing, but rarely everybody's just differently abled and have to adapt to different situations, really. I'm going to speak a bit about how I grew up. I grew up in Mansfield. I had a bit of a traumatic childhood, which led to having 2 years of psychodynamic therapy, which I may speak about later on in a different video, if anybody wants to talk about that. I was in foster care a little while. I grew up in not a great neighbourhood. Had some really good friends, but unfortunately I didn't really talk about what happened to me as a child. I left Derby, I left Mansfield and I moved to Derby when I was around about 17. I had a lot of support off my auntie and uncle. I met my ex-wife. I had my first son Luke here, who's with me now. I went to the Marines shortly, but obviously whilst I was in the Marines, my ex-wife was diagnosed with an illness, fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. So I came out of the Marines, which I truly regret. It's one of my biggest regrets in life. However, it helped me look after my son, my ex-wife and my other son when he was born in 2000. When I moved to Derby, I wanted to make a change and have a better life, which is what I actually tried to do. I started working for social care. I've been working in social care for 19 years. I've worked, currently I still work in residential and as a leaving care worker for two local authorities around here. I'm currently off sick. I'm off long-term sick because of my condition, which I'll speak about a little later. Unfortunately, me and my ex-wife split, but we rarely get on. I'm recently married a year and a half ago. August bank holiday in 2017 I got married to my beautiful wife. My wife is very supportive. Without her, obviously, I won't be where I am. It's been really challenging since I was diagnosed with a spinal condition, because that's what I've got. I used to play football with my boys. I used to be active, walking. I had chickens, I had ducks that I looked after. I had an allotment, which I really enjoyed. I thought I'd be able to grow my own produce. Unfortunately, all my hobbies have disappeared. I'm not able to do them anymore due to my mobility and the chronic pain that I get in my back and my legs. It's been very, very hard. Whilst going through this, I have contemplated suicide. Although I've contemplated it, I would never act upon that. It has been life changing. Obviously, I love my work. I love working for the local authority, the leaving care team and the residentials. I looked after children in residential homes. I looked after children with disabilities and autism, hoisting and personal care and that kind of thing. And also working as a care leaver, which is supporting young children who are leaving care, setting up home, and the preparation to adulthood, which I really enjoy. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do those at the moment, and like I state, I'm off work. I am looking at the possibility of ill health retirement. Whether or not that happens, I'm still waiting. I'm hoping it does, but if not, I may end up losing my job on capability grounds, which will be devastating, really. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Obviously, having a disability, there's different types of disabilities people have. I think it's making that adjustment in life, which I'm finding difficult at the moment. From being able to play football and go for long walks, taking my dog a walk, just being completely active, to being in a wheelchair, having to use a mobility scooter, not being able to walk over the road without assistance, being in constant pain all the time. I take a lot of medication for it. I take a nerve painkiller, gabapentin. I take 2,700 milligrams a day for that, and I'm on 80 to 100 milligrams of morphine. That's both tablet form and Oromorph. And obviously I'm still finding it difficult and painful in the days. Now obviously it's had a big impact on our lives as a family, on my wife, on our relationship, on us trying to develop and trying to understand on what I can and can't do anymore. It's been very depressing. I'm on antidepressants as well, obviously. Just been a massive change in life, really. Obviously, looking forward, I mean, my wife have got to look to try and get a hobby that we can do together, that doesn't involve me doing a lot of mobility. I'm looking at getting a power chair, which unfortunately costs £5,800. But that's what I'm going to look to do. Have a bit more independence and be able to go out on my own, which has been a massive impact on me, really. Being so independent to now depending on others. having my wife dress me, put my socks and shoes on, shower me, dry me. You know, it's very, very daunting and a bit embarrassing, really. Kind of getting used to it a little bit, but it's still, I feel as though I need to be the husband of the house. You know, they come to me if a panel's blown down in the garden or something. I'll go out and sort it out, but I can't do that no more. So how it makes you feel inside is very worthless. Yeah, worthless is all I can really think about, really. However, I do try and look on the positive side of things, and obviously my philosophy in my life, which I've always called upon in trials and tribulations, is that of a phoenix, that no matter what trials and tribulations I go through, I'll always rise from the ashes and be a better person. And there's a quote that I've found and that I often think about, and that's, often it's the deepest pain which empowers you to grow into your highest self. And I look at that and think, yeah, no matter what happens, I can overcome. Anybody can overcome this. Anybody can overcome finding out they have a disability, later on in life having a mobility issue or being in pain. I know it's hard. I understand that because I'm going through that myself. But you can overcome this. Everybody can overcome this. You just have to learn to adapt and overcome. When I was in the Marines, adapt and overcome. That is what we have to do. We are looking at moving from Derby, me and my wife, to be closer to her family, because we get a lot of support off of my wife's family, and also my wife wants to be closer to her parents. We are looking for possibly a house or a bungalow that has adaptations for me. Luckily, we have a very good landlady that is willing to purchase us a house so that we can rent in Chesterfield, as long as it's the right one. Whether or not that actually happens all depends on whether or not I get my retirement from work or not. It is a difficult time. This has been going on now for a year and a half, since I got married, actually. Just quick to kind of summarise a bit of what I do have. I didn't actually realise I had this until I accessed my medical records, which you can do. Anybody can access your records. You just have to contact the hospital and ask to request access to medical records, and they'll take you through on how you do that. It's free of charge, you don't have to pay, and they will send you all the information you need. What I have is severe lower back pain, left groin pain with long-standing hip cam deformity. I've no idea what that is, but that obviously causes pain to me. What I have also is constant severe axial back pain, long-standing with marked functional overlay, disc degeneration at the L4, L5, with incidental broad base upper disc protrusion, which is a disc herniation, or a slip disc, as people call it, and a constitutionally minimal narrow canal. I also have a sacralized L5 vertical body with completely fused L5 TP / sacral ala articulation, which informs basically where your L5 disc is. It's basically connected to your sacrum, was it? Yeah, your sacral is your sacrum. It's a bit like your pelvis, or around there, and it's actually connected and fused. There is a condition which is called Bertolotti's syndrome, which they have also been having a look to see if I've got that. They believed that I had an extra vertebrae at the start. This is the sacralized bit. There may be that I have Bertolotti's syndrome. One consultant stated I had, another consultant stated I haven't. I don't think a lot of consultants actually realise too much about Bertolotti's syndrome. I've had a second opinion, and he stated no. I just had the sacralization joint, the herniated discs, the cam hip impingement. However, I am looking at getting another opinion, possibly, but I might have to pay for that privately with a consultant who actually deals with Bertolotti's syndrome. I have contacted a Bertolotti's syndrome site on Facebook, a closed page, and I have recordings on a disc of all my MRI scans, my CT scans, and it actually shows on there, and a lot of people on this site have looked at that and thought it's exactly the same as theirs. Also, it also shows on my MRI scan and my CT scan that where the disc is herniated, the two vertebrae are not in line. So instead of being in line like that, one's moved like that. So it's kind of and that's the overlaying, I think. However, I believe that is also called spondylosis thesis, which has not been diagnosed. However, I wish to find out if I got that also or not, or possibly rule that out as a possible condition. This is why I'm wanting to look at getting a third opinion and possibly paying for myself to get the right answers. I'm not really trusting the NHS consultants at the moment, due to the press having in a Derby a couple of patients that have had back problems, had operations that have gone wrong and been paid out £2.5 million, etc. I think they're a bit unwilling to operate, and that's exactly what my consultant stated. He stated that it was far too risky, too dangerous to operate. He felt that an operation would possibly make it worse. Therefore, he stated there's no treatment for it. I have to learn to cope with the pain through pain management and just get on with my life as much as I can. And then they discharged me, which I thought wasn't really a successful outcome of the pain and everything that I've been suffering. So that's basically a roundup of of where I'm at. Obviously, I use a wheelchair a lot. I mean, mobility scooter to get around. You know that it's had an impact on me, made me severely depressed. However, anybody out there that is feeling like that, please contact me, send me a message. I'll be able to either do a video or reply back. Nothing is worth dying for ever in life. Everybody can adapt and overcome, as I stated earlier. It's just learning to do that. It is very, very hard indeed. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But you can do this. I'd just like to take a moment for my son on my right, Luke, to obviously express and let you know how he's found my condition, how he's coped and how he feels about it. So, Luke, if you'd like to talk, let them know.
Have you got any questions that you'd like to ask me first?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
To segue into it a little bit.
Well, yeah, well, just how have you felt? How's it affected you on me becoming how I am with my disability?
See, that's tough because usually I'm quite quick at adapting to many things anyway.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really affected me as such. It's been, I don't know, I think it's because I've been busy recently, obviously with uni and everything and work and that lot, that it hasn't quite, I haven't quite had them moments where I've been like, oh actually maybe I can't do that, other than like going to play football, and which has been tough, don't get me wrong, but it's been a bit more like, okay, that's fine, I can do that for you, yes, don't worry, I'll do that for you. And it's been a bit more, I've got to put that extra little bit of effort in different things like putting your shoes on and just stuff like that, but I'm okay with doing that. I don't mind doing that anyway. But I think, I don't know whether it's affected Ben a little bit more. It probably has, because he doesn't deal with things too well anyway. But that's just Ben for you. Yeah, it hasn't been too bad for me personally, but it's been a bit.
So, say for instance, went out yesterday in Chesterfield and I had to get my scooter out, obviously, and get my scooter on and went through a tiny scooter. How did you feel seeing me on a scooter?
Oh, I found it quite cool.
Quite cool.
Yeah, you just like seeing you whiz off. But yeah, it's heartbreaking when you really think about it, like think deeply into it. But it's nothing that you can't just sort of come to terms with from like an outsider's perspective. Because obviously I'm quite an open book anyway. I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I brought you up right, you see.
I'm not too discouraged. I'm not. Oh, my dad's in a wheelchair. Because things happen and things have happened.
Yeah. So. There's another thing I need to discuss. Along with all this, and obviously I've been adapting and overcoming having a disability. I'm being differently abled. I like the word differently abled. I was also diagnosed with stage 2 melanoma skin cancer, which I had a mole removed late last year, and then I had to go back and have more skin taken out to make sure that they actually removed the whole cancer. I'm still waiting for the results, however I believe that it has gone and I'm now in remission. It is a little concerning because I'm not too concerned about it. It's skin cancer, that's it.
It's just another,
whip it off.
It's just another thing to tick off the list.
Just another thing, but it's more concerning for my wife, really. My wife suffers severe anxiety at times, and when I went to have them all removed, two of the consultants, the consultant who saw it first and the consultant who took it off, both stated that it's fine, it looks like a normal mole, we don't think it's cancerous, but we'll take it off anyway. And it looked like a normal mole. It looked like a lot of all the rest of the moles that I've got on my body. Which, if two consultants thought that it was normal, and it wasn't, and it was stage 2 cancer, how many other my moles are possibly stage 2 cancer, or even more, with not even knowing, because they look normal. But anyway, that was another thing that I've had to deal with as well. I had my last operation on my back to take the remainder of the skin off on the 27th of December 2018. I've got a nice scar on my back, probably about 5-inch scar, something like that. So yeah, that's another thing. How did you feel finding out that I had cancer for the first time?
I think, everyone sort of normally goes, oh God, sort of aspect of it, and I always try to think as positively as I can.
Yeah.
So, for me, I always looked at it as it wasn't the worst type of cancer you could have got.
Yeah.
It was treatable. It was fine.
Yeah.
There was things in place that were happening. So,
Yeah.
to sort of just keep going along with it until you find out anything else. Hopefully, obviously, it's gone.
Yeah.
It should be okay. But then there was still the element of shit, what's going to happen sort of feeling.
Yeah.
Which was, it wasn't difficult per se, but it wasn't easy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just sort of something that was up in the air. It's hard when you don't know the answers, I think, is the worst part. When you don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen.
Yeah. Because
that's when your brain starts just going on a train of thoughts. It could either go completely bad or completely good in your mind, and that's what you've got to sort of focus on, is you don't actually really know the answers yourself, so there's no point trying to get too worked up about it.
No, that's right.
You've just got to sort of keep a clear mind.
Exactly, and obviously I read up a lot about the skin cancer as well, and the treatments. Obviously I wasn't too concerned about it. I think in life, no matter what happens, if you get cancer, if you don't get cancer, if you get a disability, if you don't, life is what you make it. Live for today, enjoy tomorrow. I'm not scared of death. Death comes to us all. I know a lot of people are scared of death. My wife is. But I just think death is a natural progression of life. The day you're born is a day further to death, really. You just have to live the life in between. I know it sounds a bit morbid, but you just have to live and enjoy the time you've got. I do know that obviously, having the disability that I have, and the lack of mobility and the pain that I get every day. If you noticed, I've tried not to move in the chair since I've been here, because I can feel it in my spine and my back now, and if I move I'll kind of feel it a lot more. Yesterday I went to pick my wife up from work, from Chesterfield, and on the way back we had a bit of a debate about houses and possibly getting a council house instead of a landlady getting us a house. And then just something she said about having to have what we can at the time, i.e. If I lose my job, we have no money, we can't pay any bills, we're going to be in a massive financial mess. If the council give us a property, we're going to have to accept what comes, no matter what area, what place, what state of the house is in. And that kind of got me thinking that I don't want that. I want what's best for me. I want what's best for my family. Yes, I will move into a council house. I don't mind council houses at all, as long as it's one that I like, the area that I like. And if that's the case and that's what happens, then I'll be fine with that. But I just don't want to be pushed into somewhere where I don't want to be. And whilst on the way home, that kind of got me thinking how vulnerable I am, how vulnerable I've become. And that really upset me. And all the way home, I was crying. I was driving the car, I had tears rolling down my face. My wife asked me, what's wrong, but I didn't want to talk at the time. But yeah, it just kind of dawned on me, and I get these feelings every now and again. I've always been independent, I've always been strong, forthcoming. I don't like being nobody likes being vulnerable. But when you realise you're more vulnerable, then it kind of hits home.
Yeah, when you realise you're not necessarily just vulnerable, but vulnerable and can't do anything about being vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's the worst point.
Yeah. Obviously, having this possible retirement, there's hopefully there's 3 stages of retirement. I'm hoping to get tier 1, which is 100% of my pension, or I could get tier 2, which is only 25% of pension, which isn't really good. We can probably survive on that and scrape by just, but the tier 1 will be better. But obviously that's in the lap of the gods. That's down to occupational health and the local authorities' decision for that, whether or not I get that or not. So yeah, having becoming differently disabled, has had a massive impact. It has a massive impact on a lot of people. And if you guys out there ever want to talk, chat, have a video link, ask me any questions. If you've got any questions you want me to answer, send them over to me. I can do more videos, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel and my son's channel. I'll stick a link to my son's channel on mine as well. So yeah, everybody take care. Au revoir. Bye.